Evan, she said to wait here.
I don't care. I know what I saw. Now, if I don't come right back, promise me that you'll go to the captain and make him land this plane.
Get serious.
I've never been more serious in my life. Monsterblood is on this plane. I saw it and I heard it.
Heard it?
Yeah, when it crawled under the bathroom door.
So what does it sound like?
I can't explain it, but it's awful. Kind of a slurping sound. It's hard to put into words, but once you've heard it, you never forget it.
You can't scare me. Not with the basement of botany. Maybe a sentient dummy. Calling all
Boo dudes, welcome to Calling All Creeps. I can't believe you're back. That's not right. My name is Beige Rotini. I'm here with Mr. Robust Anderson.
That one I don't even get. First I thought you were going with pasta.
It's like if your name was Mr. Anderson and you were very robust in both body or personality.
Well, I mean, I just think of the Matrix.
Yes, it is quite Matrix-like, but the word
Also,
robust is in there.
Beige Rotini is either like a private detective in a Wes Anderson film.
Yeah. Yep.
Or like a shitty principal in an 80s movie.
Mr. Rotini. Yes.
Yeah. Mr. Rotini to the office. Mr. Beige Rotini. Who's been fucking with my car? I'll get you, kids.
Yeah. Oh, my bottom desk drawer is filled with chomping teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And then in the Wes Anderson film, he'd be like, there's always like, he always takes like one of his favorite actors and just makes them look old, and they're already in the movie, but they have like a skullet, and they're like, I'll get to the bottom of this, and they just like walk away past a brightly colored background.
Yeah, very deadpan.
Yeah. But speaking of film...
Yeah. Oh, great transition, Dave.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing any sort of visual arts. We're doing the Goosebumps TV episode, more Monsterblood.
We're doing a TV app. We're taking it easy on ourselves. We also have to murder a bunch of you, and that's catching up to us. So we're prolonging this. As if we like the punishment. We're prolonging this fucking series. And
we forgot the safe word.
Yeah.
That's actually it. We forgot the safe word.
So we're going to talk about more Monsterblood. It's been a while since I watched any Goosebumps TV. It was probably with you the last time I did it.
I've been watching them as we've been reading them sometimes, to get a little bit of. But I think the last one I actually watched was the Blob Who Ate Everyone, just because I was surprised that there was an episode, because I mean there's a lot of shit they had to figure out. Mm-hmm. But what I'm learning is early episodes, budget, constraint, big issue for them. But
yeah,
but later on, I don't know if that little beep even registered, but now mine did. But later on, I'm learning they had like money to rent out a video store and feed it to like a fucking caulk gun built butthole monster. Like, it's crazy. But this whole episode exists because they didn't have the budget to actually do Monsterblood 2.
And it shows.
It sure does. And seeing that we are rounding out the Monsterblood quadrilogy, which of course, I mean, R.L. Stine was like, more money, please, and just kept writing more. I mean, a new one literally came out, what, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
But this ends the original, the OG Monsterbloods, and this is kind of a little footnote. It's Monsterblood 1.5, as I'd like to call it. It was never a book. and it borrows so little from Monsterblood 2 that it kind of stands on its own.
Yeah. They only reference Monsterblood 1 in the show, and they sort of recap it for you in the beginning, and then it's just like... Then, I don't know. Should we go into it?
Oh, we're going to go into it, but like we do at the beginning, we got to do time and place.
Okay,
but
perfect.
I realized this was airing while the other books were still coming out. So what am I going to do, the same stuff twice? I'm no dummy. I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to work smart, not hard. Yeah, but I always work hard because I have an erection. So this is more Monsterblood from Goosebumps, the animated... Not animated. This is Goosebumps the series, Season 2, Episode 16. It debuted on the Fox Kids block on November 16th of 1996. Directed by Timothy Bond, written by Billy Brown, Dan Angel, and Rick Drew.
It took 3 people to write this. Okay.
Yeah. It's... Yeah, I don't know. I bet like one guy wrote this, but he was so embarrassed by how shitty it is. He like broke it down to like his 3 different pseudonyms. He's just like, I need to get
Billy
this as
Brown,
far away.
Yeah. Beige Rotini.
My little brother did it. My controller wasn't plugged in. I wasn't even trying. So instead of time and place or top song,
Yes.
or top movie, I mean, like, we're not talking about music here. We're not talking about movies. We're talking about TV. So here's a new segment that I'm starting for every single time we do a Goosebumps TV show, which is... This is probably the last one. But it's called, What Else Is On? So imagine...
That's great.
It's Saturday, November 16th. 1996.
Okay.
You're like, oh boy, R.L. Stine is hit me again. He gave one of his great books to the Fox people, and they're going to make a fun show. You realize this isn't a book, and very early on, it's going to suck. You want to change the channel. You pull out the TV guide, and this is what you see.
Oh, I'm ready for this.
8 p.m. ABC has a special called Extreme Comedy.
Whoa! Sounds a little too dangerous for me.
It sounds pretty extreme, but they wanted to calm everybody down because then at the 9 o'clock block, it was their Saturday night movie where they premiered Wayne's World 2.
All right.
But if you weren't feeling the special, you could have flipped over to CBS to watch Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Oh, man. I used to watch that with my parents.
That was an hour-long show.
Yes.
But if you wanted to go to Fox, which is no longer playing Goosebumps, of course, you could watch a new episode of Cops. And then followed by a rerun of the same episode of Cops.
Wait, they'd play it back to back?
Yeah, it says Cops, new, and then right after it, a repeat of the new one.
Oh.
Or maybe it was just an old episode.
Yeah.
I don't know. The internet doesn't remember. Followed by America's Most Wanted.
Man, we love, like, justice porn in this fucking country.
Dude, especially in 1996, it's fucking wild. I didn't even say, after Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman, there was Early Edition, and the episode of Early Edition, it was like a news, you know, like, expose. That one was called Gun. And right after that, it went straight into Walker, Texas Ranger.
Oh, man. Sure. Of course.
And then on NBC, there was Dark Skies, Ancient Future was the name of that episode for an hour. And then it went into The Pretender, A Virus Among Us. And then Profiler, Night Dreams. But that's the primetime spots. But then, more importantly, when you go to the late night TV, you could go and watch Saturday Night Live on Saturday night with host Robert Downey Jr., the Iron Man himself.
Wow.
And who's going to be tickling the pipes and singing a good jolly tune? Well, Fiona Apple, of course.
Wow.
The musical guest of the Saturday Night Live.
That's crazy.
And then at night, Kids WB was playing probably the most classic cartoons that no one could ever forget. Like Freakazoid.
Oh, sure.
Do you remember Freakazoid?
I do vaguely, yeah.
I remember like 3 seconds of the theme song.
Okay.
It was like something, underwear, Freakazoid.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
That's all I remember. And I remember he had like Bride of Frankenstein hair. Mm-hmm. And he'd like show up and just be very uncomfortable. He was like basically just like a crackhead.
Yeah.
But maybe we should just turn this into a Freakazoid podcast and just only do Freakazoid.
I'd be starting at a deficit. I have a lot of research to do.
Weird True. That's pretty obscure. So, I mean, Saturday Night Live is on, Medicine Women and stuff. So they need to like ground their block, WB Kids. So that's why they put on Earthworm Jim directly after that. Oh my God.
I don't remember that. I remember it being a video game.
A lot of video games got weird TV shows.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Donkey Kong Country TV show?
No.
It was like an early shitty CG show, and it was super awkward. And it was just about like King K. Rool stealing bananas and like living on an island, and like Candy Kong was always making Donkey Kong so horny, and he'd dance awkwardly and sing bad songs.
Well, that's a problem for Donkey Kong, because he's only wearing a tie.
Yeah, but that way you can see Donkey Kong's conky dong.
Well, when you're right, you're right. I can't argue with that.
Yeah, just Google Donkey Kong TV show, and it's like... Recently, I've been rewatching some random Beast Wars I've been putting on in the background, and I was like, man, I love this show. This looks like absolute shit.
Yeah. Well, that's a good jumping off point to talk about the beginning of our fucking episode that we watched, which looks like shit.
So that's the only game that I have for this episode.
Are you lying?
Yeah. Here's a new one. Here's a new game for every single time that we do episodes.
I can't wait until the next time.
By the way, this is the last one. So, I am going to list 4 different characters from this episode.
Okay.
And then I'm going to list 4 different Hollywood franchises or shows, and you are going to have to match them up.
Oh,
with
like
the franchise, this is what they did in the future.
Okay.
So, in Goosebumps fashion, most of the main characters didn't do shit after.
Yeah.
But here's what you have. You have Evan, main character.
Mm-hmm.
You have the female stewardess.
Oh, what a curveball. I thought it would be the 4 kids.
No. So she played a big role. She was constantly like, listen, kids,
yes,
quit being loud.
Yeah, she was the best part.
The male flight attendant.
Oh, okay.
He's the one who they make go under the thing.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. And the captain.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have Evan, stewardess, flight attendant, captain.
Okay.
And you have the 2010s reboot of RoboCop.
The movie?
Yes.
Okay.
The Cheetah Girls.
Okay.
Freddy vs. Jason.
Oh my God.
And Obama's favorite comedy movie, Police Academy. All right. So it's Police Academy, RoboCop, Cheetah Girls, and Freddy vs. Jason. We're going to start... Let's start with the captain. He's the captain. You got to go first.
Okay. Captain, I'm going RoboCop reboot. Shit!
Sorry. He was actually the booking sergeant in Police Academy.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay, Evan. We still have RoboCop, Cheetah Girls, and Freddy vs. Jason.
Evan, I'm going to say, was in the Cheetah Girls. Shit. It's Freddy vs. Jason, isn't it?
It is.
Fuck.
So even better, when I saw he was in Freddy vs. Jason, have you ever seen that movie?
Yes, of course.
I was like, man, I hope he's the stoner guy who gets so stoned that he sees Freddy as like
a worm or something.
And then the worm goes in him and he uses his body to stab Jason, but then Jason slices him completely in half with one swing.
Yes.
And he's basically like every line in that movie is just like, dude, like what if Sublime was like 311? And they're like, they're like, shut up. Yeah, that's him.
Oh my God.
Evan played Bill, the stoner who was killed by Jason in one swoop.
He did a great job.
Because people are like, I hope I'll never see my parents again. He was just like, dank nugs, bro. Like,
dank nugs.
All right. We have the male steward. I guess it's a male steward and a female stewardess. We have the male flight attendant and the female flight attendant.
Okay.
Male flight attendant has to go under and check the bags. Female flight attendant basically just yells at kids all day. And we have RoboCop and the Cheetah Girls.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to go gendered on this one. Yes.
Hold on. I just want to remind you that Raven Simone is indeed in the Cheetah Girls. This has nothing to do with anything. I just want to remind you that Raven Simone was a Cheetah Girl.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Remember, Raven has nothing to do with it. Remember that Raven has nothing to do with it. I just remember... Actually, it may not even be true. I don't even know if she was. I just remember her being... Because that was So Raven. They did that So Raven.
Yeah, that is So Raven. Well, I'm still going to... You know what? I'm going to stick to my guns, and I'm going to say... our little man who went into the compartment and got goo-goned is going to be in RoboCop, and the stewardess, who is the best actor in the whole show,
can you confirm?
Was in the Cheetah Girls. Yes.
Ding, 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 ding!
Hooray!
You're the winner. You're the winner. Male flight attendant was actually was in a lot of different movies. And he is a stunt double. He does a lot of action stunts.
Oh, I love the way he lifted that flashlight to the ceiling.
Yeah, you could tell that he knew stunts. Like, he did that, and then they were like, boy, I saw how good you could do that. And
Yep. Yeah. He lifted that flashlight, and I was like, what is this, John Wick? 4?
Yeah, but he's John Thick, and that's why he's so strong for all those RoboCop stunts.
Yeah.
And then the female stewardess... who didn't even get a name in the show. It's bullshit, because she was the best part of the episode. Mm-hmm. She was Juanita in Cheetah Girls.
Okay. Good for her.
Can't forget her. Yeah, and then there's another character who I will describe. They were like a main character on a big show, and they barely appeared in this, so we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Facts about this, don't want to take up all the time, but the original title for this was Flight Monsterblood.
That's not that's nothing. That's just
it's probably why they. Mm-hmm. There was probably someone in the writer's room who's just like, we should just call it Flight Monsterblood, and people are like, we'll never do that, but put that on the Wikipedia right now. That
was like, that's a name that you give something when you need to save it. Like if I was writing the script. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go to bed because my life is meaningless. Like, what the fuck am I doing? I would save it, and I'd be like, I don't know, fucking flight _monster_blood.doc. I'll change it later.
I was going to make a joke, and then I was like, shit, I don't have an alternate title. That's perfect. So I just went and typed it at the bottom. As we stated before, this is one of the 4 original episodes that were not adaptations of the book. So that's why we did this one. This is not an R.L. Stine Goosebumps story. Again, it's by those 3 goofballs. But, you know, we read the books. This is an extension of the original 62, so it's worth going into.
Sure.
And And according to Rick Drew, one of the writers, the episode was created due to budget limitations that were preventing them from adapting Monsterblood sequels. And they were, at that point, one of the most popular books with the kids.
Yeah.
I mean, we all saw hamsters on folders, which, by the way, Lou, previous guest, thank you so much for our Goosebump folders.
Lou, thank you so much. What a sweetie pie.
I'm going to put so many documents in them.
Yeah.
But actually, that's unfair. Maybe I'll just, like, I'll clip out Sears bra ads, and I'll keep it in there, and I'll hide it somewhere. And when somebody finds it, they'll be like, oh, you little scamp. All right. Evan is on a plane.
Oh, he sure is, Dave. They're on a plane, and the way that you know that they're on a plane is that the episode goes to an exterior shot of a plane in a sky that is what I can only describe as from Sega Genesis. When you're in, they go to it, they cut to it so much. It's so overused for how bad it looks. And when you're inside the plane, all the windows are blacked out. And the way they try to explain this away is that it's storming outside. But the windows, every single window is pitch black as if covered in duct tape. It's amazing.
Thinking about the budget for this episode, because, I mean, shocker, they're on a set.
Yeah.
They're on, like, a plane set this entire time. Would it have been that much harder just to make, like, a big hamster?
Right. They've done it. They did it with Monsterblood 1. The miniatures. They made the dog big.
Yeah. And all they do for that is like shitty green screen work. Like it looks awful, but they still did that in this one. But we can get into that later. I'm going to put that in my bad writing.
Yep. Yeah, put it in there, Dave. So you got these kids. You got Evan, he's back. Hooray. And you got Curtis, Julia, and Conan, which they pronounce Conan. So there's that. I will also say this is a very pre-9/11 book because the kids are like doing handstands and taking out swords and knives and shit. I made that part up, but
also there's no way Monsterblood would be on the plane because it's not the right container. There's too much of it. Yeah,
exactly.
They'd make you throw it out on your way in.
Much more than 4 ounces.
Yeah.
And for some reason, there's 4 kids alone on a plane. I don't totally get that, but I know that Evan is on his way to see his dad or something.
It's picking up from where the last book left off, where he was only staying with his aunt, who's secretly a witch and has magic spells and is a slave to her cat. Because his dad got a new job and is moving to Atlanta. In the books, they come pick him up and he's free. In this, they're like, yeah, just fly over to your new home.
Yeah.
But at the same time, kids are getting out of their summer camp. And as planes do, they just line all the kids up in a row for fun activities. And like anytime I've been on a plane, it's just kind of like have your seat here and do this. But like the set of the plane looks like it's from like, I don't know, they used it in like Mad Men or some shit. It's like like early 70s plane. Yeah. Like you expect the kids to even be smoking on it. Like,
yeah. Every seat is like grandpa's chair. You know, it's like a mustard colored like houndstooth sofa.
And they're all just chilling. Like, Conan is constantly standing on his seat.
Yeah. He howls at one point.
And it's wild because the stewardess comes up and she's just like, hey, if you keep acting up, I'm going to get the captain.
Right. And that's the threat.
Yeah, but that's not plain, like, it's not like, it's like, well, everybody knows the captain is the principal of the plane.
Yes.
If you have to go to the captain's office, it's going on your permanent record.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a weird threat. And Conan is the bully. He's this big kid who wears a sick denim vest. It fucking rocks. Mm-hmm. It has a patch on it that says "Pow" in like a cartoon bubble thing.
That's how you know he loves fighting.
It rules. And there's a back patch on it that's indistinguishable. It's nothing. Like, it looks like a band logo or something, but there's no writing on it. It's pretty great. And then the nerdy kid is Curtis, and they really go out of their way to let you know this kid's a fucking nerd. He's allergic to everything. He loves to think. They make him think a lot. He's always like, I'm thinking. And at one point he like drinks beans out of a thermos, which was weird. And he reads a book called...
I wrote this down too. So I was like, what the fuck?
101 Things to Do with Your Modem.
And it's like, look at amateur porn, look at professional porn, look at bestiality porn.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the first things I did with a computer, I slowly downloaded a single picture of Pam Anderson from Playboy. How about that?
It's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's
I love the internet.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have told everybody, because they're probably listening to this on the internet.
Oh,
so
no.
they're gonna leave to look at Pamela Anderson's boob.
Don't do that. Stay here. Yeah.
And you forgot about Julia.
Oh, Julia, of course.
I hate Julia.
Yeah. She doesn't do a lot.
No, but the Julia's the idea of like, she's the female character who is like, she like, you're supposed to be like, he thinks Julia's cute, and like, she's the only thing you know about her is like, I went to camp, I'm perfect, I'm like rich too. They're like, you're a rich girl, so who knows? And she's just like, everybody needs a new friend in Atlanta. And I'm like, why you're like 11, like stop fucking. I don't know. She talks like a Penthouse Forum person, and I'm like, you're 12. Like, it's really fucked up. Like, she couldn't just be another one of the friends. Everything about her is like, we'll get into it. It's fucked. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yes. So, I mean, Evan just goes right to it, and he just tells them all about his Monsterblood adventures, and Curtis believes him and has a fun time. Julie is kind of ambivalent, and Conan is antagonistic. Then, like, the stewardess keeps getting involved because they're really rowdy, and they're 4 kids unsupervised on a plane. And then Conan. At a certain point, Conan does a prank with an ant. Can I go to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he finds an ant on a lady's flower. I don't know what that means. Like she had
throws
a corsage or something.
Yeah, he throws an ant on Kermit, and he's just like, an ant!
Kermit?
Oh, that was an accident. I was going to talk about that later.
Yeah.
No, because these characters are basically stand-ins for the actual characters in Monsterblood 2. So the bully who Evan like takes Monsterblood to grow to his size to fight him, his name was Conan in that book. And there's another nerdy character whose name is Kermit.
Oh, that's right.
In that book.
Yeah.
In this book, like, even fucking, what's their name? The fucking 3-headed writer was just like, Kermit? No, that's fucking dumb. What do you think I am, an idiot? No, his name is Curtis.
Curtis, which is a cooler name. It's a cool name for a nerd.
Kermit's pretty good too.
I mean, Kermit rules.
Like, what is Kermit gonna do with his modem?
Yeah.
Drink parsnip juice?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was. And then he just drank baked beans.
There's a huge scene where he's like... So they bring in food. Airline food. And that's when you realize that you were just living in a Seinfeld joke.
Yes, 100%.
And everybody's like, ugh, airline food, this is almost as bad as cafeteria food. And Curtis is like, I'm allergic to, like, beef, dairy, air, nuts, butts, titties, and dongers. And they're like, well, what aren't you allergic to? And he's like, parsnips. And then like, you know, Conan and Julia are like, at camp, all he ate was beans and parsnips, and he's like, we want some, and like fucking slams his head into a parsnip over and over again.
Till he absorbs it.
Yeah, the stewardess just stares away at the black windows and wonders where she went wrong.
That's what I was doing when I was watching this. Yeah, but the ant prank, Conan like gets an ant. I guess the idea is a lady is wearing on her blazer like a fresh flower, like we're in a fucking 1920s cartoon, and Conan finds a bug in it, and then takes that bug. So already the premise is wild.
Yeah.
Of this, you know, quote unquote joke, and he takes the bug.
Why are you touching my breast? Oh no, I am looking for bugs in your brooch.
In this single flower. Oh, and look, it happens there is one in there. Perfect.
Ants. Ants love flowers.
Famously, they love flowers. Yes.
Yes.
So he takes the ant, he like puts it on Julia, and she goes, ew, and then it's over. And then the bug falls to the ground. There's no explanation as to how, but the monster blood has seeped up from the bottom. And I guess this is actually after it has killed the male flight attendant.
Prostitute.
Yes.
Yeah, flight attendant. Yeah, so I think we missed at one point, he's just like, yeah, I did monster blood fight, and all the time with my dog, he's even below us right now. And then it like pans down to the underside of the plane with the cargo, and it's just like Trigger, and he's like, woof woof. And it cuts back, and because like the whole plane shakes, you see monster blood, and then the whole plane shakes, and the captain's just like, I think something's happening in the plane's belly. Why doesn't someone go look? Mm-hmm. And they send RoboCop's friend to go look
in the basement,
and he has like a crazy, creepy horror scene with his flashlight. And it's like, there's like jizz up, monster blood up all over the walls. And then he goes to the ceiling and the monster blood falls onto him and he dies.
Mm-hmm. Right. So this ant is eating the monster blood. Just put a pin in that. Then a guy goes to take a big shit in the bathroom. And
it's so big he has to take off his jacket and loosen his tie.
He takes off his jacket, loosens his tie, and you're like, what's this guy up to? And turns out he just wanted to wash his face with hand soap, like you do. And when he does that, somehow he gets like monster blood on his hands and then rubs it on his face.
What happens is he's just like, I must clean my face. So he like wets his face, then gets soap all over his hands, then just directly rubs it in his eyes, and then he's like, soap in my eyes. Right. And when he's reaching for a towel, he just finds a lot of monster blood, and he's just like, guess this is a towel, and then just starts drying his face off with it.
Yep, and then turns to dust.
Wild.
Yep, all they find are his little glasses, and everybody's mad because he's locked in the bathroom, and there's a big line of people, and somebody's like, he's been in there for 10 minutes. And I just feel like that's pretty judgmental, because that's not a long... That's my shortest BM. That's on a great day.
Say, now that I have a bidet, it's totally cut down on my time, because I am a perfectionist, and when I come out, I don't want a molecule of doo-doo anywhere near this hole.
Yeah.
Doo-doo free zone.
You know, I watched a YouTube video where a mortician answers questions about what happens when you die. I think it's like one of these like magazines or something does it, like Wired or something. It's like, this person answers questions from the internet about this thing.
Oh, yeah. I've seen it.
And one of them was like, if you shit your pants when you die. And I was like, oh, perfect. Like, he's going to be like, no, that's like, you know, that doesn't happen. People just say that. And he was like, yeah, sometimes. And I was like, fuck. Yeah, I mean, come on. It's insult to injury. And it's also like, if a lot of gas builds up in there, then they have to like blow it out anyway. It's like a whole fucking thing. Anyway.
So they like squeeze your belly and you fart.
I mean, with my corpse, certainly that'll happen to them. I hope.
You're like a human whoopee cushion.
A real Bronx cheer.
A real Bronx cheer.
For my rotting flesh.
I love that, like, everybody on the plane needs to shit at once, and Evan is just, like, crawling around on the ground near them and sees a puddle of monster blood come out of the door. Mm-hmm. And he yells at the stewardess. He's just like, stop, the monster blood. And she comes up to him and literally says, like, listen, causing a panic on a plane is a federal offense.
Yeah.
Again, pre 9/11.
Pre 9/11. To his credit, he says, I don't care, and then keeps going, which is pretty cool.
It's very American of him.
Yeah, that's true. Somebody just trying to do their job.
Yeah, as you said, when they open it up, they only see the glasses.
Yeah.
I learned that is actually an Easter egg to the book cover.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, these writers, they do some pretty cool Easter eggs if they can't write a coherent story that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of my favorite details comes up right after this. There's like a hippie.
Oh.
And his computer is stolen.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Remember that for later.
Yes.
Because it'll pay off big.
Yeah. Big payoff. I did write down the payoff.
Another big payoff is Julie at one point draws a giraffe, and the kids are like, "That's a nice giraffe."
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what now? It's like now it's eating people, I guess. Oh no, it eats the female stewardess.
It eats the
Flight attendant.
Yeah. It I don't know. There's weird shit. I also wrote. Did you notice the music every time he talks to Julia? It's like super porny.
Yeah. Yeah. The music did change a lot depending on what's happening to like match it. And but in a dumb way. So I guess that's what I just said is obvious. But like in a stupid way. Like later when Curtis goes to like do something heroic, it plays like a little like drum, like a fucking like Civil War drum beat kind of a thing, like a soldier. Yeah.
There's also when she makes Evan sit down, there's a man waiting in the line to shit, and he makes like a face at Evan.
Very disapproving.
And I loved it. Like, that was the acting that really got me there.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I believe I'm on this plane and I have to shit. Yeah. Like, I'm in the scene now. So, like, everything sucked up until now, and now I'm in it.
Yeah.
So, like, we know Evan's suitcase, Monsterblood got into it. The kids have let us know that has to be what happened. The stewardess realizes that RoboCop has not come back yet, so she goes to investigate. And then the Monsterblood just kind of just like fucking attacks, so it starts attacking the gate, and she's like holding it. Then she gets sucked so hard that only her shoes are left. Mm-hmm. And that's when the Monsterblood just goes on a murder spree.
Yeah.
It's like missing computer hippie guy. He gets sucked through a crack in the wall. Like,
yeah.
That could go super violent if they had more than $40 to make this episode. If his bones and skin needed to get crunched into a tiny sliver.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's murdered.
Evan is just like, everyone's dying. Only one person can save us. We must go to the captain. And I'm like, the captain just flies the fucking plane, dude. Like, he's not...
Yeah, I don't know why they're ascribing so much power to the captain.
Yeah, he's like, I can't beat this level on my Game Boy. We should go to the captain. He'll know what to do.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's killing everyone, and then, I don't know, they're trying to figure out what to do, which is really just them standing around and shouting. And also, like, not as concerned as I would think. Like, they're not truly scared. They're, like, making jokes and stuff still. I guess they're trying to... the writers were trying to be like, what would it be like in a Goosebumps book? But a Goosebumps book is way better than this. And it just didn't do it for me, obviously. But whatever. They somehow find out that plain food is its kryptonite. It like threw up. It eats everything, and then it ate some plain food, and it got sick from that. And so they're like, okay, we're going to feed it a bunch of plain food. but we need to get over to the cart that has all the food on it, and the Monsterblood's in the way. So what can we do? Let's send Curtis through the overhead baggage area, because he's small enough he could fit in this little tunnel, and then he can go over there. And that's what he does. And Monsterblood can sense movement. I don't know if you knew that. And
it's like Jurassic Park, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So Conan creates a distraction, but he gets eaten, and Curtis watches it happen. He reaches the other side where the cart is. It's within an arm's reach. He could just grab it and do something, but he turns away from it to watch Conan die for like a full minute. And then Evan comes over after Conan dies, and they all like get the cart and they shove it in the Monsterblood. Monsterblood throws up everywhere. That's basically it, right?
Yeah. I mean, they figure out that the food is bad for the Monsterblood.
Yeah.
And that's when you realize they're Jerry Seinfelding.
Correct. It is.
Yeah, Curtis is small enough to go through the baggage thing, like you said. It's But the one thing that's crazy to me, and I was just Googling this because I was like, this can't be. I realized I'm like, Curtis and Evan yell "Bonsai" as they throw the cart, which I looked up and I'm like, where's that from? It is a World War II Japanese thing that the army would yell going into battle, roughly translating to "Long live the Emperor." So yeah, it was like, you know, the Nazis' friends in World War II. Because I was gonna say I knew Bonsai was somehow related to basically like kamikaze pilots.
Yes, same. And that's what I thought it was problematic, or at least did not fit in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. And I guess they eventually land. The pilot is unfazed. He didn't know any of this had happened.
There's a great slow motion puking scene as this is happening too, and when everyone's spit out, the porn groove plays as they land too. And yeah, but like the CDC shows up and they have like the Monsterblood in a tube.
Yeah, that's right.
They're like, we're bringing this back to the government, and like Mulder's there, and it's fucking sick. And a weird scene where like Conan wants Curtis to meet his family, and that's when we learn they've been dating this whole time, and it's like kind of like it's kind of really sweet. It makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the porn music turns back on super hard, and Julia gives Evan her number.
Yes.
And then after that, my note says they fuck. But Evan forgot his jacket in the bathroom, which is crazy because he's never been in the bathroom in this whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
And nothing happens, right? At all.
Well, you would think, but unfortunately, you might have missed the moment, Dave. I don't know if you saw it. But there is somebody wearing his jacket. How do you know who it is?
RoboCop?
It's close. It's a big ant.
Oh my god, the ant ate the Monsterblood.
Mm-hmm. He's got a big thorax, and it's inside Evan's jacket. And his antenna's going crazy. He's moving stuff with his little pinchers, and he's going to crawl into Evan's little piss hole. And
it's funny because ants sometimes are small.
Sometimes they are.
But this one's like a big guy.
Not this
It'd
one.
be way funnier if the ant was like taking a shit and he was like, "Excuse me, can you give me some privacy?"
Occupied.
Yeah, that'd be good. That's okay. That's how it ended. Forget what we said. That's how it ended. Don't watch it. But imagine that's how it ended.
Did you want to talk about the laptop guy?
The hippie guy? Near the end, he's just like after he comes back to life because he got vomited, he was like, "Here's my laptop," and that's the payoff.
Well, yeah, it is, but it's also like he finds the laptop and it's closed, and he looks at the closed laptop. This is the level of detail that Goosebumps delivers to you, the TV show. He looks at the closed laptop and he says, "It automatically saved. Awesome."
Yes, he does say that.
So, you know, that's cool.
Great, my documents.
Yeah, my TXTs.
I was making a list of the Excel spreadsheet of my favorite fish songs.
Yeah.
So, you have any good writing?
Oh, no. I did not do that.
Yeah, me neither. I don't have any good writing. Other than I like the porn music, and I like when they're like, ooh, a giraffe.
Yeah.
And also when Conan is just like, they're like, we have to stop it. We should think of something. But it's like coming to fucking kill them.
Yeah.
And Conan just like jumps on the seat, and they're like, he's like, ooh, a Walkman. And he picks up, it is a Sony Walkman, the yellow one, and then he just fucking hurls it at the Monsterblood.
Yeah. That's how they
Conan's
find
the
out
only one
that
doing shit.
it's attracted to movement because of that.
Yeah. But Conan, there's like, it's attracted to movement. And then Conan does like a fucking Fortnite dance, and they're like, it's attracted to movement. And he just starts like twerking in its face. And that's why he gets 8.
He gets 8. And
All right. My bad writing is all of it. What's your,
same.
I hated it.
Yep. You really have to see it to believe it.
You really do. That's why we decided we're going to send something out before that you can watch this. It's on the Flicks.
Yeah, just if you have Netflix, you have somebody else's Netflix, go on season 2, episode what'd you say, 17?
16, season 2, episode 16. We're going to call it Netflix and Will. Mm-hmm. It's watch this on Netflix and then find the will to keep living.
Yeah, it really was dispiriting to work a full day and then watch this shit. Really hurt my soul in a really meaningful way.
That's beautiful and sad.
Yeah.
What's your top spook and scare?
Oh, I didn't do any of this. None of it.
All right. Mine is having to take a huge shit on a plane, but there's like a line.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good.
Because taking a shit on I've never shit on a plane.
No, why would you? Unless you're sick.
Or if it's one of those like 12-hour flights or something.
I guess, yeah.
That's the thing. If you wanted to like go to Japan or something, like even if you have layovers and stuff, you're gonna have to shit either in an airport or in a plane.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Fuck the world. We don't need to see it.
I'm never gonna do that. Like I thought about this recently. Like if somebody was like, you could never get on a plane again, I think that's fine. I think I'm okay with that. It's funny because everybody on Earth I talk to is like, oh, I love traveling and I can't wait to travel and I'm going to travel so much. I love traveling. I wish I was more of a traveler. And I just can't. I don't know. I'm just fine here.
I love airports.
Oh, God. No.
I love like getting drunk in an airport and like being there late and hopping on the plane and bringing a Game Boy and like having like it's me time and then like putting on like fucking some shitty movie while you're playing Switch or something. I don't know. I enjoy it. I enjoy planes. But who's your best dressed?
Oh,
no one?
It's got to be Conan.
Oh yeah,
for sure. I mean that vest fucking rocks.
Mine, also a vested character, is that hippie guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With the stolen computer. He has a tie-dye shirt, the greasiest center part.
Yeah. Imagine
it like Jonathan Taylor Thomas, but then you just got Crisco and like greased it down to your head. And then on top of that tie-dye shirt, he's wearing like a brown vest.
Oh, yeah.
And also, because all of these shows are filmed in Canada, he was Luke on Degrassi.
Whoa, good for him.
Good for you. Alternate title?
I sat on the toilet and this came out.
Mine is Air Force Fun. Quote, get off my plane. End quote.
That's great. You did it.
All right. Where's the witch?
Well, I think in this case, it's going to be the little bit of Monsterblood that Evan took on the plane, I guess.
Mine is the witch who's sitting in the row in front of them with the flower that has infinite ants.
That's true. She did bring bugs on the plane.
Yeah.
What's the... Oh, Liquor. Liquor's probably the ant.
Or it's the sucking... the blood sucks up everyone. That
That's
Monsterblood
true.
is a sucking slurper.
That's true. Brian, I don't know if we need to ask about my pube.
Well, how old was Brian then? Oh wait, it says my. How old were you? This is 97.
It was 96, right? November 96.
Oh yeah, 96.
So I had turned 9.
Were you bushed up by then?
Probably not.
Were you sprouting?
Probably not.
All right, sports dad. We're not going to ask you about pubic hair. You're good, but we're still using your name so that people will Google you and you. This is going to fuck up your LinkedIn, buddy.
We're using your full name, Brian Sports Dad.
It's Jock Goth.
Jock Goth Sports Dad. 42069. Okay.
311.
We have a bunch of people to kill. Let's do that.
So we're gonna, instead of your Goosebumps death, this is like we're gonna throw you into a Goosebumps situation with your best friends, the other dum-dums who listen to this podcast. Not that you're dumb. I don't think that you guys are not smart. I just think that you can make better decisions on what you listen to.
Yeah, it is a sign of poor decision making. If you've made it this far in this episode, if you've made it this far in the series, shame on you. Fool me once.
Shame on all of us, I guess.
Shame on my little butt.
All right, so I'm going to read 4 people's reviews.
Okay.
We have, I think, 8 more, right?
Yeah.
So we figure we can do 4 and 4 for now, and we can kill people off in because it's usually 4 people. I mean, we had Evan, Julia, Kermit Curtis, and Conan. So this one is from Thorin, the Grumpy Dwarf. Did we already do this one?
I don't remember.
Thorin? I don't think
Lord
we
of the
did.
Rings or a Hobbit reference.
I was shocked to see the amount of Goosebumps podcasts that exist, and after exploring a few of them, I can't stop coming back to this one. Oh, thanks for coming to us.
Yeah, don't try that shit. I'm glad you didn't try that shit last year.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for making us your Sears bra catalog. The big thing that separates this from other similar podcasts is the dedication they bring to the books, noting down specific instances of scary or laughably bad writing and such other examples. Thank you. The intros can get a bit long, but the chemistry between the two members and their sense of humor more than make up for it.
The intros are a bit long. We just spent like 40 minutes rehashing a plot of a 20-minute TV episode. I would think our plots are the longest.
You remember that time that you had to go to the doctor for butt health, and our hour-long episode was 45 minutes about buttholes and 15 minutes about the book?
Yes,
it's fair.
But I think what isn't the way I'm reading that is like the cold opens.
Oh no! I thought it was like us finally getting to the
that
book.
could be too.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Thorin, hit us up on
Clarify
Instagram.
Clarify what you mean.
Clarify what you hate about
Yeah.
us. I need, I already hate everything about myself. So
I'm going to need negative specifics.
We want negative specific feedback. Some people will get that reference. All right, so that's Thorin. I'm adding him to my character list right now. So we got Thorin, the Grumpy Dwarf.
Okay.
Then we have Ada's Vox. Maybe Ada's Vox? Okay, your name is now Ada. Sorry.
I like Ada.
If it's not that, I like Ada. Ada's Vox. Not what I expected.
That's what my mom said when I was born.
Oh, and they said, I thought I was expecting a girl, but this thing has a 25-inch dick. I don't know. That would be upsetting for a baby. Because and 2 umbilical cords. I am a newer listener. I have been listening for about a month or 2. I didn't know how to feel about this podcast at first, but quickly enjoyed all the scuffed talk of this podcast. It brings a charm to the podcast that I thoroughly enjoy. That was on November of 2020, of Hell Year.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ada.
Thank you, Ada.
That's super sweet. Or a Das Fox, maybe. Who knows? This one is Gene Nettles. So we're going to go with Gene.
Jane.
For this one. Gean. Gene Nettles. Says, my hilarious adventure. Going through this podcast has been a treat. Matt and Dave's irreverent Spitfire humor had me laughing throughout, and their literary analysis is interesting. As a fellow New Jersey native, what up? Hearing reference to Wawa and such things made this a particular nostalgic listen for me. Thanks for the laughs, guys. I also can't get Boo Dudes out of my head, and it's entirely their fault. Well, thank you. A Boo Dudes to you. Huh, gotcha. This one is Parker Industries 616.
Okay.
That is a Spider-Man reference about when Peter Parker basically makes his own Tesla company, basically. And 616 is the universe they exist in. So we're going to name this person Peter.
Okay, Pete.
Like the Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Glad I can finally nut again.
Aren't we all?
This was in January 11th of 2021. As the title suggested, I am glad I can finally nut again.
Can't believe he went celibate for a year on our account.
It's incredible. It's incredible. So we got Thorin, Ada, Jean, and Peter.
Peter. Did Peter leave a message?
That was Peter's.
Oh, that was it?
Parker Industries, but it's a Spider-Man reference. That's what Peter Parker's company is called. So we'll call him Peter after Peter Parker.
He was glad that he could do a jizz?
Yeah,
okay.
He just was like so excited to do a jizz.
Okay.
You ever like not jizz in a while and you can like feel the force behind it?
Yeah, I get the chunky ones.
I've never had that. That's so fucked up. You would say that live on a podcast where everyone can hear. Caught ya. I got ya.
Got it.
Got
All right. Dave, do you want to begin? Do you want to set the world, or shall I?
I'll start.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm chewing the ice to my. I actually drank a Dr. Strange today in a while.
Wow.
I haven't had one of these in a bit.
Okay.
Some whiskey and some cherry Dr. Pepper. It's delicious. All right. So we got our buds. We got all right. Peter is the new kid in town.
Okay.
His parents just moved after selling 1,000 refrigerators in other countries.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I've heard of this.
He's super nervous because the school dance is coming up tomorrow. But a new school, he doesn't know anybody other than his next door neighbor, Jean.
Mm-hmm.
Ada, the mysterious but beautiful girl who's in his homeroom, and Thorin, the grumpy dwarf. That's it. He's just a grumpy dwarf.
Is he a classmate?
Like, no, they're like, are you the janitor? And he's just like, fuck you.
He's just in the school.
He's just a dwarf in the school.
Okay.
But he's so grumpy, they're like, are you a teacher? Are you lost? And he's like, yeah, fuck off. I'm a grumpy dwarf. Like, do you do dwarf things? Do you make hammers or shit? I don't know. I didn't read the books. And he's like, the ring to rule them all, bitch. Like, I don't know. So Peter is just like, I only have one day of school, my first day of school, to find a date to the dance, or else everybody will, I don't know. He thinks people will care, but that's irrational and dumb, and why would we even be talking about this? That's what makes it a Goosebumps book, because, like, what are the stakes? There are none. But then things got weird, and that's where the chapter ends.
Oh,
it's just
shit.
be like, I thought this was going to be an embarrassing dance. Little did I know it would be a scary dance.
Right.
Okay.
Because
that's chapter 1.
Yeah, because naturally he thinks, well, me? I started my own business, Peter Industries. What do we call it? Parker Industries.
That's it.
And what a little lady wouldn't be thrilled to take my hand and enjoy a dance to Casey and JoJo, perhaps?
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe. And so he says, Ada, my classmate in homeroom. Perchance, may I take your hand in dance? And Ada says, hold on, let me check my notes. I'm a ghost.
Oh my God. Ada, you didn't even know that you were already dead.
No.
That's how you died. You were already dead.
Yeah, she checked her calendar, and she was trying to look what she had going on that day, and it just said, I'm dead.
It's like, well, I haven't been busy since, what's this say here in my planner? My own funeral.
Whoa!
Whoa.
So Ada, actually, you're already dead. We took care of you.
You're dead. But you're like, you'll hang out.
You're in the
Just be
story.
Like, I guess I haunt this one classroom. You're like, what class is it?
Yeah.
And they're like, history, because you are history.
Correct.
And you're like, fuck, I'm with this guy, that kind of teacher who makes those kind of jokes.
And you had a 50-50 shot of releasing your bowels when you died. Who knows? It's it's up to chance.
Yeah.
So Peter says, I don't really want to court a ghost. So thanks, but I'll just find you here in the future, and that's cool. And Ada says, wait. If you don't mind, perhaps I could follow you. You give me permission to follow you outside this classroom. And
Vampire rules.
Exactly.
Love it.
And Peter says, why, you seem very nice. I think I will allow you outside of this classroom, and perhaps you can follow me around and we'll hang out and do stuff. And Ada says, thank you so much. That's so nice of you. And she's walking. She crosses the threshold, and she says, now I'm evil.
Oh, shit.
And
shit.
Thorin comes around the corner, and he's like, I'm a grumpy guy. I am mad all the time, and I got a little tuft of hair over my little dwarfy balls. Oh, am I stout. Oh, Lord. And Ada says, hi.
Okay. You having fun over there? You okay?
Yeah.
You okay over there?
Yep.
I see the tears starting. So Ada is evil all of a
She's
sudden.
evil, but she also is polite.
She's politely evil. But she notices Thorin, the grumpy dwarf, who just wanders the school because they just can't get him out of there. He's like a dog. He poops wherever he wants. He notices that Thorin has dropped a healthy little steam boy right on the ground. So Ada's going to use her ghost prank to trip Peter right into the pooper.
Yes.
And of course it happens, and Peter's like, oh no, I'm already wearing the tuxedo I rented for the dance. So much like in a Goosebumps movie, Peter, you decide just to go home because there's no rules, and you can do whatever you want. And on your way home, you see Jean, your neighbor, and Jean is just like,
hi.
You're covered in shit. And Peter says, I know there's a dance, and Jean says, I've been watching you.
Oh.
And Peter, at that point, just gets spooked off and runs. Goes home, puts on his spare tuxedo.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit smaller because it was for this was for the 5th grade dance. So the pants are a little bit higher, not knowing that would be a very H&M fashion in the future.
Yes.
He looks very European. It's fashionable. It's great. He comes back. He's upset that Ada tricked him into poop. It becomes burning sage, and Ada, you die twice because he just gets you out of there. He does his favorite prayer. He's just like, say a little prayer for you forever, whatever, and throws a sage bomb at you, and you're fucking dead.
Yeah.
Puts a salt ring around your little casket, and you're fucking dead, Ada. Ada, you die.
Sorry, Ada. Bye.
You died twice. You owe us a second rating. But then it comes down to the time when it's the dance. And Peter,
yes,
you've been too busy covered in shit that no one No, you never found a date.
Yeah, because you smell like shit now.
Yeah, but you know who loves the smell of their own shit?
Who?
Find out in the next chapter.
Oh!
It's Thorin, though.
Yeah, so Thorin's outside of the gymnasium where the dance is taking place, and he's like, I'm so grumpy. I wish I was happy, but I'm grumpy. And his balls are kind of swinging around. And then...
oh, yeah, he has a loincloth, but it's like...
Might as well not be wearing it.
Yeah, it's like his loincloth is like one square of toilet paper.
Yeah, yeah. It's very comical.
Yeah.
And but you know, he's in good shape. He looks good. And but he's outside wandering around, and he's like, wait a minute. What is that? I think it's coming from the gym. He opens the door. Casey and JoJo is blaring through the gymnasium doors, and he like a Terminator vision with a grid, and like it turns red and shit. He locks in to Peter, and he's like, "Are you?" He goes up to Peter. He says, "Do you have shit all over your body right now?" And Peter says, "Well, yes, I do." And Thorin says, "I fucking love shit." And what happens is Thorin is his spirit is lifted, and he's so happy. But here's the thing: much like Angel from the Buffyverse, if Thorin has one moment of pure happiness, well, that's not the same because he doesn't turn evil, but he does die instantly. So, Thorin, you dead. Sorry. You died doing what you loved.
And then you notice that a sad song comes on.
Mm-hmm. LFO's Girl on TV.
Yeah. And you're like, damn, this is my jam.
Yeah. Fell in love with a girl on TV. Mm-hmm.
And then you look over at the DJ booth.
Uh-huh. Heard of it.
It's Gene. The neighbor who's been watching you. And he does that thing where he like puts two fingers at his eyes and then points at your eyes. And you're like, all right, I got shit on me. Mm-hmm. I got shit off me. Uh-huh. I got the shit smelled out of me, and my date died. This has been a bad first day of school. I was haunted, and then they died because I assaulted them. Yeah. I assaulted them. That's a good joke. I'm going to give that to my history teacher who makes bad jokes. That's going to give me an A. But right now, I'm getting the fuck out of here. So you leave the dance. And you're like, all right, at least I live in a nice neighborhood. Or that's what you thought. Because you forgot. Gene, who's trying to kill you.
Oh, shit.
It's for your fucking neighbor.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what kind of neighborhood you live in.
Yeah.
So you walk by, and you see Gene's parents just like, they're sitting out on like lawn furniture out front. And Gene's mom is just like, dead man walking. And then... and then Gene's dad is just like, that's very insensitive. Why would you say that to this boy?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, fuck, I just need to get inside. You go in, take a hot shower.
Yeah.
You're like, you take off your second tuxedo, and you put on your bedtime tuxedo so that you can go to bed. You turn the lights off, you lay down in your bed, and you pull up the blankets. The blankets feel heavier. You flick on the lights. You didn't pull up the blankets at all. Gene has flattened himself out to a comforter-like shape.
Oh my god!
And he just goes and scares you, and that's how the chapter ends.
And then Gene says,
"This is the last chapter. This is the last chapter. I need a big twist at the end, and I need 2 deaths.
Okay,
you got this."
Gene says, "Surprise, you little dumb bitch! I was
got him.
I was a blanket this whole time. You idiot! You absolute moron! I was a friggin' blanket." And he says, one of the functions of me being a blanket is I suffocate your ass. And he suffocates him, much like Freddy. He can go sort of anthropomorphic and turn into things.
Yeah.
And so Peter is like, and he's suffocated, dies. Gene never was living, was always a blanket. twist, and they're both dead.
And you realize Gene was a neighbor, a helpful neighborhood watch.
Mm-hmm.
He was a DJ for children, and he was a blanket.
Yeah.
Put all those things together, what does that make him?
Dead Mao 5.
I had no idea, but you guessed it for sure.
Wow.
I guess.
I knew it. Who knows?
Turns
Who
out-
knows who that guy is? Could be Gene.
No, it actually turns out that it was Peter from the future.
Future Peter.
Because he realized he was just like, he remembers how the dance went the first time, where he was like, yeah, they only played terrible songs and no LFO. And he knew if he put on LFO, he would break out and do all of his good dances. And when he ran home upset because he had shit, he made sure that, like, as a kid, he had 1,000,000 tuxedos. So he'd be fine. And then at the end, he knew that night he was going to die of hypothermia, but he overcalculated by turning himself into a blanket and suffocated himself. And by killing himself in the past, he killed himself in the future. And they both died.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And then R.L. Stein comes out and goes, hello, I'm R.L. Stein. and then he does rips a huge fucking fart. And then it fades away.
It is. I didn't know this, but his fart did kill Minnie. That's.
Oh my God. This is why his people won't reach out to us anymore. I've been emailing them over and over.
Look, that's canon. I can't do anything about it.
Dude, in their agency thing, when it's like, how much are you willing to pay? When you put in a bid, I literally put $5,000 just to see if they'd reach back out to us.
He's not getting
I'm
out
not
of
paying
bed
it.
for $5,000. A fake $5,000.
Yeah, fake. They know they just see our name and they're like, oh, these fucking chuckleheads,
Yeah.
pieces of shit. Well, that was an episode.
Ooh, baby. Hey, you know what I say to myself when I go to sleep at night? I look down at my penis and I say, hey, look how you look now, but later, my future Peter is going to be pretty hard. I don't know. I have no fucking idea.
Did you even know what you were gonna say when you got to the end of that sentence?
Absolutely not. No.
You're like I told my great aunt before she won the pickle eating contest. Hey, if those were wieners, they'd still be attached. Good night, everyone.
Man, yeah, I think what the most insulting part of this podcast is that we just waste everybody's time. No, sorry, not we, but me.
No, we both did just then. Well, it's only fair because that episode, oh fuck, we told them to watch the episode. We actually wasted an extra 22 minutes of their time. Well, actually, we'll say 20 minutes because the theme song still rips.
I think I can cut a lot of the plot that we just rehashed.
I mean, but do you want to?
No. I'm going to leave it intact.
Keep it. Just leave it. Fuck. More content, right?
Free content.
Listen, so thank you so much for listening to another episode of Calling All Creeps. We are Calling All Creeps Pod on social media. If you want to reach out to us, Instagram's the only one we'll really see. Every now and then we check Twitter.
I think Twitter's Call Creeps Pod.
Call Creeps Pod. See? That's how much we check it. I can't even name it. On top of that, if you have any suggestions or things you want to say to us, just do it. Because all we're doing right now... I tried to burp so hard I almost puked.
It sounded like you're going to barf.
I almost puked.
You're going to barf.
Bye.
Goodbye.